So we come to the metal element now, and what does that look like? So if you can imagine a metal sword, it's very sharp and it's very precise, and it can cut through things really quickly and easily. And what a metal person, when they're well adapted, could look like is someone who has precision, is precise, is highly principled and disciplined. And the archetype for metal is the alchemist. So alchemy is about turning base metal into gold. And so they have this amazing ability to transform the mundane of everyday life into something really grand. On the flip side, they can be quite dismissive and they can cut you off really quickly. The emotion for metal is grief. So when they're not well adjusted, metal people tend to hold grudges, and they tend to lament the past of lost opportunities or just generally melancholic and grieving about what didn't happen. So they have regrets as well. They want to gain respect from people who they know and their colleagues and their family. And it's interesting because the strongest influence in our childhood with the metal element is the father figure. It's either the real dad or a father figure in the family. And when that hasn't been such a healthy relationship, then as an adult, a metal person can have real issues about self-esteem and self-worth. So their journey is going to be about this, looking for respect from others. And ultimately, what they're going to find is that's never going to be enough, and therefore they have to go in this inward journey to gain self-respect and self-worth for themselves. So a metal person, because they regret decisions and lost opportunities, they're always selling themselves short by feeling this lack of self-worth. It's really important for them to be working around these issues of letting go. So letting go of the past, forgiving others for having done them wrong, or forgiving themselves for making mistakes. So it's really important for the metal person to understand that they're holding on to grudges, and that's creating a lot of imbalances within themselves. Illnesses that can occur when the metal person is not very well adapted is to do with the lungs, because the lung is the organ that is associated with the metal person. And they can also have bowel problems, because the colon is also an organ that's associated with metal. So asthma can be a problem, and respiratory infection can be a problem. And it's all to do with this need to build their self-esteem and need to be recognized. They'll be looking for this externally, but really it's about recognizing the self and gaining that self-worth through obviously self-work and personal development and reading books and seeking help, really, for all those aspects of yourself that aren't quite healthy. So they would really benefit from spiritual practice. And it's this higher connection to something greater than themselves. Because ultimately, that is how the grief is going to be transformed into the self-acceptance. I mean, we all could do with spiritual practice, but for the metal person, that is really close to how they can be nourished within their element. And then they can then bring this new inspiration and value and function optimally and holistically and effortlessly with everyday life, is when they can let go of these things from the past that are holding them back.